So I am Kathleen Pascua from BPED-B, and just for this video, I am your teacher. So you can call me Ma'am Kath for short. So in this video, i-instruct ko sa inyo or i-import ko sa inyo yung different movement elements based on movement concepts. But before that, let me tell you that movement concepts has 4 categories. So meron siyang body, space, effort, and relationship. And sa 4 na yon, doon napapasok yung mga different movement elements. So ngayon, sasamahan nyo ako, ipapakita ko sa inyo yung different movement elements. Tara! And now, focus muna tayo sa first movement concept, and that is the body. So ang body is merong 4 categories, and that is body part, body shapes, actions of the body, and actions of the whole body. So, sa 4 na yon, meron din siyang mga subcategories. And ngayon, focus muna tayo sa body parts. So, sa body parts, it is understandable na yun siya yung mga segments, body segments, and joints na makikita sa ating katawan. So, sa body, dito natin makikita yung head, face, shoulder, arms, tummy or stomach, legs, toes, knees, and ankles. Next is the body shape. So, it is the form of silhouettes and outline. So, may outlines ng mga bodies. So, ngayon, tingnan natin kung ano yung mga body shapes. So, next is the body shape. So, dito napapasok yung narrow, how wide, round, twisted, symmetrical, and asymmetrical. So, sa isang katawan ng isang tao, merong iba't ibang shapes. So, nakadepende yan kung paano mo dadalhin yung katawan mo sa isang movement. So, sa actions of the body parts, it is kind of roles of the body segment that can play in a movement. So, meron dyan, makikita natin yung mga weight, mga apply force, and etc. So, tingnan natin. Next is the actions of the body parts. So, it is kinds of role of a body segment that can play in a movement. So, meron siyang elements. So, that is the weight, the receive force, apply force, lead the action, and weight transfer. For the last category of the body, meron dyan yung action of the whole body. It is the movement or action performed by the entire body. So, hati din siya sa 3 subcategories, the non-locomotor, locomotor, and manipulative skills. So, ngayon, titingnan natin kung ano yung mga subcategories ng actions of the whole body.
Stretch. It is the extending or lengthen of the body. So, ginagawa to siya during warm up or usually before mag-start ang isang activity. So, gina-stretch mo pa yung mga joints ng iyong katawan. So, next element is the curl. It is the flexion or bending of joints. So, ganyan siya ginagawa. I-flex mo lang yung mga joints ng iyong katawan. Third movement element is the twist. So, turn in opposite direction. So, ganyan. Next,
so, for the turn, you have to face new direction. Pag naka-face ka sa front, you have the authority to face on the other direction or harap ka naman sa likod. So, sa spin, you have to move around. So, for the swing, it is the rotation but one end of the body. So, ginaswing mo yung body mo. So, for the swing, it is the rotation but one end of the body. So, ginaswing mo yung body mo. So, sa push, everting force away from the body. So, and the next is pull, is bring resistance towards the body. So, ganito yan siya. So, sa rise, elevating the body. So, from the floor, itatayo mo yung katawan mo or alis ka doon sa base. So, sa sink, lowering the body from the floor. So, pwedeng patihaya ka sa floor para ma-emphasize yung sink na element. Next is gesture, feeling or mood expression using movement. So, in different movement, hindi talaga mawawala yung expression natin para naman mabigyang buhay or mabigyan ng hustisya yung movement na pina-perform natin. Next is dodge or the shifting of the body to avoid something. So, pag mayroong something na papunta sa'yo, it is the ability na ng body natin para mag-move, para hindi tayo matamaan ng kung anumang bagay na iyon. Next is a balance. Keep all forces affecting the body equal. So, dapat ma-control mo yung movement na yun. So, it is the counterbalance. So, counterbalance, it is the specific aspect of balance that requires all the elements. So, specific aspect of balance. So, it is very much understandable na specific siya. Kumbaga, on the point siya kung ano yung aspect ng isang balance. Next is counter tension. So, it is the reversing the direction of the force. So, kung ang force is or kung ang movement mo is papunta dun sa kabila, so counter tension is reverse siya ng direction. So, parang kung pa-right ka, pa-left na naman siya. Next is walk. It is the stepping action with arm-leg opposition. So, yan. Naglalakad ka, ganyan. Next is cartwheel, the alternate of hand, foot, frontal plane. So, ganito yan. So, crawl, alternating right and left side, arm and leg movement. So, bear walk, it is walking on hands and feet with the belly facing the ground. So, ganito yan siya pag-perform. So, for the crab walk, it is walking on hands and feet with the buttock facing the ground. So, pabaliktad siya, unlike the bear walk. So, sa run, steps alternately with arm-leg opposition at fast pace. So, mabilis siya unlike walk. Sa run, dapat mabilis talaga. Leap, elongated run.
Next is the skip, alternate step-hop combination. Next is the hop, 1 foot take off. So, isang paa lang yung nag-take off sa floor. And next one is jump, 2 foot take off. 2 foot ang pupunta sa base or sa floor.
Next is the gallop, continuous patterns of stepping. So, continuous, walang tigil na pag-step ng iyong mga paa. And then the slide, moving sideways with continuous patterns. So, next is the rack, transfer of weight in back and forth. So, for the rule, it is the various adjacent body parts coming into contact with the supporting surface. So, ganito yung pag-perform ng rule and rack. So, for the throw, use one hand to release an object. So, ganito yun siya. Pag tinapon mong isang bagay. Next is roll. The object is made to cross the supporting surface. So, may object ka na kumbaga gina-roll mo siya papunta sa target area. Strike involves forceful contact. So, tingnan nyo, ganito yan. Kick, it is done with foot. So, pag binato sa'yo yung isang bagay, you have to kick it. Volley, making contact with an airborne object or light touch. So, usually, pinaperform tong movement na ito during games or specifically the volleyball game. So, catch, the grasp of one thing. Trap involves holding the ball between two things. Dribble, traveling with an object that is repeatedly contracted. So, dinidribble mo siya. Usually, it is performed in a basketball game. So, sa carry, traveling with an object held in the hands. So, kinakarry mo yung isang object papunta sa direction na gusto mong puntahan. So, for the first categories of the movement concept, which is space, and that is the location. So, it is where the movement occurs. So, meron siyang dalawang movement elements, and that is self-space and general space. Sa self-space, it is the personal space or kinesphere, personal bubble that surrounds and moves with the performer. So, next movement elements ng location is the general space. So, it is all the area available for movement. For example, gymnasium, or a wide area kung saan ginagawa yung isang movement. So, forward, moving toward the direction one facing. So, pa-forward yung movement na pina-perform nyo. And then, sa backward, moving the direction of the back of the whole facing the body. So, pa-direction, pabalik ka. forward and back. And next is sideways, movement of the whole body, both pa-side. So that is the forward, backward, and sideways. So for the fourth elements in the direction, na yung direction is movement concept, categories ng movement concept na space is the up. So, ang up is moving toward the ceiling or the sky. So, pataas. And the last element niya is ang down or moving to the floor or underground, pababa. So, very much understandable yung up and down. Clockwise, it is moving in. And the counterclockwise is the outward. Clockwise, it is moving in. And the counterclockwise is the outward. For the third category in the movement element of space, and that is level. So, it is the high or low of the movement. So, meron siyang tatlong movement elements, and that is low, high, and medium. So, pag sinabing low, near the floor. And pag sinabing high, above the shoulder. And pag sinabing medium, between level and low. So, low, high, and medium. So, for the fourth category of the space, we have pathway and extension. It is the invisible pattern or tracing. So, meron siyang tatlong movement element, and that is straight, curved, and zigzag. So, pag sinabing straight, move in a direct line. At pag sinabing curve is arc or semicircle. At pag sinabing zigzag, crisscross manner. So, yan yung mga space na meron, movement elements na meron ng space. And now for the next movement concept, which is effort. So, meron siyang apat na categories. So, first is the time, and it is how fast the movement is. So, meron siyang tatlong movement elements, and that is fast, slow, and acceleration. So, sa fast is sudden yung time, and the slow is sustained, and the acceleration is change of pace, or sa layman's term is deceleration. Next category is the force. So, how much the tension is. So, meron siyang dalawang elements, and that is hard and soft. So, very much understandable na yung hard and soft. The third category in effort is the flow. How continuous or fluid the effort is. So, meron siyang dalawang movement elements, and that is bound and free. So, sa bound, it is stoppable. And yung free is ongoing. So, naintindihan naman, di ba? So, the last category in effort is the focus. So, how effort is used in space. So, meron siyang dalawang elements, and that is direct. So, sa direct, energy is channeled to single point. So, direct siya. Single point lang yung tinitira niya. And the next elements is indirect. Scatter all parts of the area. So, nakakalat yung focus niya, yung effort niya in that particular space. So, the first category in the last movement concept, which is relationship, is yung people. So, sa people, meron siyang iba't ibang elements. And first element niya is ang solo. So, child or the performer is working for himself or herself. So, the second element is alone in a mass, independently working along with other children. So, the third element is the partners. So, yung may partner ka. And then, ang apat na element is even groups. So, group. Ikalima is uneven groups. And ang ika-anim is individual to group. So, it is a range in which one person relates to the group. So, ang ikapito is group to group. Ito yung team sports. So, next is triangle. So, ang sport skill, for example, yung sa mga, di ba? May mga games na pa-triangle, yung pagtapon ng bola. Yun siya yung relationship, di ba? Pag tinapon mo yung bola sa first base, second base, and sa third base, yun siya yung nakapa-triangle ang geometric, or ito yung tinatawag natin na geometric arrangement. So, second geometric arrangement is the circle. Work on direction, level, or force. So, for example, of this element is the paracute activities. So, third one is the square, used in square dancing. So, yun yung mga. Next is the scatter throughout the general space. So, next is spokes of a wheel, forming lines radiating art from the center point. And X, two lines cross in the middle. So, yan yung mga elements sa first category ng relationship. Next category is the position. So, ito yung mga elements na nabilang sa position, above or below, yung sa top and beneath niya. So, over or under. Next is inverted, yun yung upside down. And the fourth one is mount or dismount, onto or off of an object. Next is in front of or behind. So, sa harap mo or nasa likuran mo. Next position is beside. So, magkabilang gilid. Next one is alongside. Right next to a partner. So, may similarities sila ng beside. So, next one is through. Move from one side of a barrier to the other side. So, next one is surround. So, next one is around. Next is support. Siya yung holding onto something up para masupport mo yung partner mo. Next is lift or lifted, yung action of the moving your partner or the children up. Next is meet, two space dancers moving forward to bow each other or to face each other. Next is near to or far from, distance between object or people in general space. So, yung distance ninyo or yung distansya, kung gaano kayo kalapit at kalayo ng iyong partner. The next category of relationship is the timing. So, nahati siya sa tatlong subcategories, the simultaneous, alternate, and successive. So, first na element na pupunta natin is yung sa simultaneous. Meron dyan yung mirroring. Next is matching. Sa mirroring, meron siyang facing the other person. So, magkaharap kayo, pero pantay yung action na pinaperform ninyo. Next is a matching is two people facing the same direction. So, nakaharap kayo, pero same yung direction ng kamay ninyo. Kung right or right, right lang. Kung left and left, left lang. Next is contrasting or opposite direction. Next is unison, movement at the same time. Next is take turns. Diyan na napapasok yun sa ikalawang subcategories yung alternative. So, for the last one is the successive is nandito na yung movement sequence, clear beginning and definite ending. Next is canon, fun movement or one person begin to move the other or gina-initiate or sinusunod niya yung first movement ng nauna sa kanya. Next is question or answer. So, in dancing or in any movement, merong mga nakatagong question and answer. Like for example, nilahad niya yung kamay niya ng partner mo. So, ang answer is, kukunin mo, and meaning yun is yes. Sasayaw ako kasama ka. Ganon. So, next is act or react. This is one movement causes another. So, lead or follow, form of copying the first movement. So, dyan, for example, yung mga Zumba or mga aerobic exercises. The fourth categories is goal. So, meron siyang tatlong movement elements and that is cooperative. Cooperative is the helping each other reach a common goal. So, second one is collaborative, outwitting the opponent by cooperating with others. So, last element is competitive. So, goal is simply trying to win. So, the last movement concept or categories in movement concept is the environment. So, meron siyang dalawang elements and that is static and dynamic. So, static is fixed or stationary. And then sa dynamic is in motion siya. So, hindi siya stable.